Gathering Greenhouse, a podcast to help us grow together. We are here today, and we're going to be talking about some really amazing things. Right, David? I like your shirt. Is that new?
No.
It's not. Okay.
No. I mean, it's basically the same shirt I wear every day.
Just on rotation?
Yeah.
It looks newer. Maybe I just don't see it up close.
One shirt, but in like 6 different colors, and he just rotates through.
Pretty much.
Well, I got a question for you guys. So I try to switch up things that we do for our fun intro here. So hopefully you guys like this. I'm not doing food. I don't want to do food every single time.
Man,
you know,
I
that's
still
like
got some
the
of the
best.
chips from last week in this cup.
After last week's food, maybe we should never do food
I'm taking
again.
a break for just a little bit here. This is kind of it's a drink question, so it's kind of still in that same
so
realm.
like if we get it right, we get to drink?
No, not like that. So here's the question. If your fingers could dispense a beverage.
So before you ask the question, when you said that, it reminded me of a song, and I want to know if you guys remember this song.
Yeah.
Probably not.
It was like a Christian camp song, and I don't even know if I can remember the words. It was like, let your fingers do the walking through the pages of God's word. Let the Spirit do the talking to your heart.
Sounds like a classic.
It felt like it was like a jingle for the phone company.
Yeah.
And then it was like, keep in touch wherever you are. Nope.
No.
All right.
No.
All right, go
but
on.
I got this from a
Your
foodie
fingers
podcast
do
I
the
listened to,
walking
but
through
I
the
thought it was
pages
interesting.
Of God's word.
So if
Let
you're
His Spirit do
so you're making it very
talking to
difficult
your
to
heart.
ask the question. So if your fingers could dispense beverages, what 5 would you pick? You have one hand. You get a beverage on each finger. What 5 beverages would you pick?
That's a good question.
Wait.
Yeah.
It could be any kind of
Well, it wasn't
beverage.
my question. I stole it from. I'm like, that was a really good one from the podcast.
Just take the credit, man.
Yeah.
Just take the credit.
So we're really trying to figure out our top
And so
5.
here was my first thought, and I figured David would be thinking this too because he likes to examine the questions. That do we want to do it where you pick it and you're stuck with that for the rest of your life?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get 5.
Yeah. You get 5. One hand, it can
So just
unlimited
quick
dispensing.
Does this mean
question.
Yeah.
There's access
Like
to
what
all
about
other
like
beverages?
recipes? Like when you're cooking, can you use other beverages to cook with?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So this doesn't include that.
So you can you just can't you can't have it on you at all times. So you basically dispense it. So you don't have to put water on there. You don't have to put milk.
What?
So we can still get stuff from other places.
No.
You want to play a different version?
No.
Oh,
You got to limit yourself to 5 drinks for the rest of your life.
Okay.
That's why I want to know about the cooking, though. Right? Because I would say, and then the
like
question,
beverages you can drink.
right?
Only.
The follow-up question is then like, if you're putting milk in your cereal,
yeah.
is that different? Like I'm not going to drink
I don't
milk.
like to drink milk, but I need it for things.
I think that we can give a loophole there, where if you're using it for cooking or for eating or for something else, it can be used.
Okay.
But otherwise, purely for drinking,
milk and water on my
So 5 drinks the rest of my life, and I can't drink anything else.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm close. I mean, water.
I say
water.
Really good purified water. Definitely is on there. Coffee.
Yes.
Coffee.
But what kind? Like, what are you going with coffee? Because you can't. You're not gonna have creamer.
Yeah, I would
Coffee
just
is
really
coffee.
good.
Okay.
It's
Black
black
coffee.
Black
Okay.
coffee.
Probably a dark roast.
Okay. From Panera.
No. Panera is great when you have the deal. It's not.
Exactly.
Do we get to have different ones? Like I don't have to have the same as him, right?
No, you don't have to have the same thing. But obviously, I think if we're going this path, coffee and water.
I'm going coffee and water, my first 2.
So are all of us a coffee and water our first 2?
I think so. I mean, it makes the most sense.
I'm really struggling down the stretch, but I know Guinness is 1.
Okay.
So Guinness is 3.
See, I don't know if I could pick one beer that I would just keep.
I know, right?
You need one.
I think I have to have a carbonated beverage. Right,
like a sugary carbonated beverage.
So I'm going to go with Werner's.
Okay,
and then that leaves me with only 1 slot left, and I got to go either with peach juice or pineapple juice, and I'm trying to decide which one to. Oh, but there's grape juice too. Wait, what about communion?
That's separate. I don't think communion counts.
That's the blood of Jesus. That's
I don't think this.
All right, I'm gonna.
It's a joke.
So I'm gonna walk back my Werner's.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with a drink I can't find anywhere anymore. I don't even know if they make it, but if they do, I want it. It's the Diet Right White Grape.
Diet Right White Grape.
Yeah. So that's...
Wow. That's very hyper specific.
Well, it's I mean, but that's that's what and then I'll go with peach juice.
I just have never even. I've heard of Diet Right. I didn't know they had that flavor. John, what are you going with?
Definitely got good water, good coffee. I'm gonna go with Diet Coke from McDonald's. It's different. It's better. I don't know why. Don't want to know why. It would probably ruin it. And then I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna probably go with Cool Blue Gatorade.
Oh, Gatorade.
Gatorade Zero. That's my favorite. And then that last one, I'm gonna go with my White Monster.
Okay.
My go-to.
I'm gonna go water, coffee, because I think those are the staples. But there's one I was thinking I don't really do pop, but I do like the carbonated waters. But that's too close to water. I don't know if I want to waste one on that. But I know
LaCroix.
Definitely a smoothie would be one.
No. You can't just say smoothie.
I have to be specific.
Wait.
Because I don't know what smoothie.
Are we counting smoothies and milkshakes as drinks?
Yes.
But we could still have ice cream.
Yeah. Right.
And I could mix.
Because I was going to put milkshake in there.
I could mix milk into my ice cream because we just established that if it's for making food. All right. I can still have milkshakes.
Yep.
So, water, coffee. I'm going to go. I don't know what smoothie I would even pick.
But if you say smoothie, then we can just say pop.
Well, there would be. I mean, I'm saying it'd be a specific smoothie. I just don't know off the top of my head what it would be.
But that's the thing. I mean,
because
I want some tropical smoothie right now.
The ones that I like the best are like the overly sugary ones, and I probably want that one forever.
I'm redoing my list.
Oh, totally scrapping and starting over.
I'm going water, beer, pop, fruit juice, and coffee.
Okay, fine. Pineapple, mango, banana smoothie. Is that better?
Oh yeah,
okay.
That sounds good too.
Okay, I'll go with that. For my third one, I'm going to do 3 this way versus 3. Well, I can do the 3 that way. And then I'm going to do a vanilla milkshake. Okay.
Vanilla milkshake.
Yeah, vanilla.
Ooh.
Just straight vanilla.
Ooh.
And then my last one, I'll probably do lime Perrier. Because that one's
boy.
Do you really like vanilla milkshakes?
Oh, I like. Yeah. Yes. I think it would be the one that I would also like if we're going on the game where it's the only one for the rest of your life. That I would have to go with vanilla because I'm never going to get tired of vanilla. But if I did I feel
like your life would be so vanilla.
I know, but it's a good go-to one. But now if I was able to change these, I probably would go with something like an Oreo. Actually, Oreo might be a better way to go anyway. I don't think I could get tired of Oreo. But I was just thinking might get tired of it if I picked the flavor.
Peanut butter shake.
Reese's. Sometimes I go back and forth on it. Sometimes I really like it, but I don't always pick it.
Banana shake.
Oreo. I'm gonna change it to Oreo. Milkshake.
Okay. That's better.
That's what I'm gonna do.
From where?
Well, probably
the McSmoothie.
I don't know. Cold Stone makes a pretty good one.
McFlurry.
Cold Stone?
Yeah.
I've not been a Cold Stone in a long time.
Are there any Cold Stones left?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's one there's 2 within 5 miles of the church.
Are there really?
There's one at Austin Landing, and there's one.
Whoa, you're talking about the big
Sandstone.
rock out front during the winter?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And there's one by Sam's.
Yeah. Sam's Club.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Is that where we're going for lunch? Cold Stone?
No. That would be a terrible lunch.
Also, I have an
speaking of that,
the Diet Right White Grape.
Oh, we have an update that doesn't exist, or you're saying?
So according to Soda Lovers Wikipedia,
seems legit.
Sounds trustworthy.
It's a very rare regional flavor, and since that company has been bought out multiple times, it's been phased out and went, and I quote, extinct by 2022.
That's so sad. I guess I'll switch my drink to Werner's.
You can, but this is a Maple Leaf, so you can still keep that one. But
I want to you can disperse it.
As
So
we're talking,
I've suspected that was the case because I haven't seen it in stores forever. But I'm gonna be honest. It's like when you have that thing that happens that you think it's happened, but now there's confirmation, and this is a little bit devastating. I'm never gonna drink Diet Right White Grape again.
I will never recover from this.
I'm gonna need a minute.
Okay,
you guys
just
go on without
take
me.
some time for the die right that passed away. No, I want to make a change. As Matt was talking, I realized I skipped something.
Don't talk to me. I'm out.
I'm getting.
Yeah.
I need to get rid of the milkshake one and put a beer in there. I'll just go with Branch and Bone, an IPA from them. I'll do that because I'd rather have that than a milkshake. I think I don't drink milkshakes that often, but I love them.
The thing about that is like Guinness.
Yeah,
that's a meal.
Yeah.
You got your bread.
Yeah, I mean it's filling. There you go. So, all right.
Okay, shall we get into some questions?
No.
Oh, skip it. Move on.
I'm having a hard time here.
Why are you having a hard time?
I'm disappointed. I'm really.
Why are you disappointed? In what? Because of the diet, right?
Yeah.
You're still stuck on that? Oh.
Still, it just happened.
I know, but we're in the middle of something. I thought maybe you'd be able to move on a little bit.
This has been
So that's sad.
No, we shouldn't play taps. That's reserved for people who deserve it.
True.
It's just really sad.
I didn't realize you were so broken up about the diet, right?
Well, imagine what's your favorite drink? I mean, it's not my favorite drink, but I really like it. Imagine discovering that something you really enjoy to consume,
but
you're never again the rest of your life. Ever.
But here's my question, though.
Never.
Here's my question: Is it if you didn't even know it didn't exist? How was it your absolute favorite drink?
Well, no, I just said, I've looked for it in stores and I haven't found it, so I've suspected.
You suspected.
But
when's the last time you had it? It's been a while?
Probably 2022.
Okay. So, I mean, it's been several years. I'm just surprised that it was on your finger.
Well, so the thing is that, Matt said it's a regional drink, and there are things that are a lot harder to find here, like Vernors.
Yeah. Right.
Not everybody carries Vernors down here.
True.
But in Michigan, you can get Vernors on every corner. So, I mean, I just kind of thought, well, maybe it's just, it's not a thing.
But isn't Vernors fairly easy to find? I think it's at all the grocery stores. Well,
not gas stations.
So you're saying in Michigan, every gas station is probably going to have Vernors, or the majority of them.
And every person on the corner, like you just run into a person on the corner. You're like, hey, do you have a Vernors?
Hey, you got a Vernors there?
Like, oh yeah, here you go.
You're making Michigan sound really awesome right now.
Michigan is really awesome.
Have you ever had Moxie?
Which part? Is it all over?
Just the west side.
Just the west side. Okay.
Yeah.
If I go to a corner in Detroit and ask for some Vernors, I might get something else.
Yeah, I would join a movement that tried to give the east side of Michigan to either Canada or Ohio. I'd be 100% behind that.
That is harsh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Y'all can have the thumb.
Okay. Well,
right.
Sorry,
someone, my friends
someone who has connections in the soda world can find a way to get us some peach diet tab. Did I totally say a diet right? Peach diet right.
White
grape. Diet right. Sugar free. I was totally listening to our conversation and care.
Can you find out when Tab went extinct? I don't even think it's in this century.
Really? I never had it, so I
thought they tried to bring it back.
Any final guesses on when?
2020.
Okay.
1984.
John?
It's not 1984. It's not.
Steve was actually right. 2020.
Bam.
So
keep up with that.
Century.
I really know about Tab.
It was introduced in 1963.
COVID did it in.
Yeah. Have you ever had a Tab?
No. It sounds gross to me. Isn't it diet?
Yeah. Oh, it was in what's that movie? Back to the Future.
The only diet thing that I actually do enjoy occasionally is Diet Coke. That's about the only thing this diet that it has a good flavor to it.
It's really bad for you.
Yeah, that's why I don't drink it.
Yeah, really, really bad for you. So,
okay.
All right.
Can we move on now, David? Is that all right?
Move on as in the podcast, or move on from Diet Right? Because
we don't need to move on from Diet Right. We just need to move on to the podcast.
Diet Right. Straight up Diet Right is.
And Tab.
Is it? I think that the only one I've ever had is the white grape.
So I love Diet Coke, but often there's times I want straight up Diet Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. Question here. on
I'm gonna
our
have to have
podcast
later today just to make myself feel better.
Just don't try to get it from someone on the street corner.
They won't have it. Yeah.
Go to a grocery store.
No, they don't have them in the well, they have them in the grocery stores. Yeah.
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 Okay.
All right.
So why do we place such a high value on youth and kids at the gathering? Why is that? Why do we care about them?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons. I think, like, from a really pragmatic standpoint, they are the next generation. Yeah. Cue all the youth pastors out there saying they're this generation. Yeah, and they're the next generation. They are. But the future of the church has to be the next generation. There's a lot of churches out there that haven't paid attention to that, and then all of a sudden they find themselves in this place where they look around and everybody's got gray hair, and they're like, "Well, where are all the kids?" Yeah. And it's like, "Well, you didn't invest in them." What
would you call placing a high value? What does a high value look like?
Well, for us, it's a lot of investment, right? And we invest time, resources,
money,
finances,
finances,
people, all those things. Yeah. But I don't want to just leave it there at pragmatic, because there's a better reason why we do it, and that's because Jesus said to.
And he also loved children. Yeah. He took time to actually spend time with the children.
Right, and he often pointed to kids and said, this is what the kingdom looks like. These are these ones. And I think one of the more powerful things that Jesus said was the whole, if it's better for you to have, what is it?
Childlike.
No, to have the what's the millstone
around your neck,
your neck, and thrown into the sea, than to offend one of these little kids. And I think what he's really saying there is, to drive a child away from the kingdom is one of the absolute worst things that you can do. And I think we should take that seriously. That, one of the most important things we can do is to help kids find their way into the kingdom.
Yeah.
So that's why. And so, we make big investments and we prioritize. So if we have to make a decision between something that's going to be good for kids ministry, but bad for our small groups, or good for our small groups, but bad for our kids ministry, we're going to do what's good for our kids ministry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same would apply to our youth ministry. Yeah. So, and our Awana.
We have an Awana?
No. Didn't we talk about Awana? Was that last week?
We did.
Yeah. We're going to go right down
coming
that path
soon
again.
to the gathering.
No.
Okay, next question here is, what is the point in having children's programming and youth programming at the gathering?
Yeah, what's the point of it?
Yeah, what is the point of having it?
So,
what's the end goal? What are we going for?
So I think, we have a statement that we just kind of throw around. It's not official. It's not engraved in stone anywhere. But that one of the things that we want to do is, from the moment a child is born, and invest in them so that for their whole life they'll know God, love God, and follow God. And we think the best way to do that is by investing our resources to help them when they leave the church, that they won't leave the faith.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's helping, get kids ready, because we don't expect every kid to stay at the gathering.
Right.
Right. We expect they're going to move away. They might stay in town and find a different church, and that's fine. Our goal is that when they do leave the church, they don't leave the faith.
Yeah.
And so that's the whole point, is to do that.
So sometimes investments in those don't pay dividends for the church itself, but they pay dividends for the individuals and for maybe other churches. I just think of the college ministry that I was in. The church probably didn't really receive much from that and spent a whole lot of money on it. But I can think of my friends from that college ministry that are now doing ministry themselves, of it's a kingdom investment,
right?
It's to some extent.
Well, I think that's we invest knowing that these kids are going to grow up and leave. Yeah. And that's great. We want them to go wherever they end up. We want them to be a fully equipped believer there and serve whatever church they end up in. Really great. It's not for us. It's for them.
Yeah.
And I think that's hard. Is you look around and be like, oh, we made all this investment in these kids and they just left. It's that's the point.
That's the point.
Yeah. Right.
They left it, but they didn't leave.
Yeah.
The faith.
Yeah. Maybe we can take a second and just walk backwards through the life cycle of a kid and the things that we do. So, I would say at the very end is our young adults ministry, which is pretty new.
Yeah.
Right. But it's a ministry that's really kind of taken off. And there's an event coming up here in a couple weeks, right? Some taco night or something.
Is
that this Sunday?
This Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday.
What are the details on that? Anybody know?
I'll pull it up on Church Center.
Church Center
You have
app.
your
Right here on
Church
my
Center
phone.
app. You can find out.
It's
Check this
going to
out.
be at the barn.
It's at the barn. It's Sunday night.
Sunday night. I think it's 6 or 6:30. John will
We
know
tend
the
to
exact
always
time.
do 6 o'clock. So
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
It's easy.
So tacos.
Yep.
Everybody loves tacos.
Who doesn't love
6 to 8
tacos?
p.m. at the barn.
And
6 to 8
who is a young adult?
So what we've been saying is a young adult is 18 to 30-ish. And so, we recognize that between 18 and your 30s, that depending on where you are in life with career, with schooling, with family, young adult may or may not apply to you.
Yeah.
And so we kind of left it open-ended. You know if you are one.
This is one of the only places in our ministry where we would say you can, you just choose to identify how you want to.
Yeah.
Right?
For the most part. For the most part. I mean, I don't like the way that's phrased, but I think for the most part that's true.
Yes. Age-wise.
Yeah, age-wise.
For young adults.
Age-wise,
So,
yeah.
Okay. So then if we keep going backwards from there, then we go into our youth ministry.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a place where we've, I think, made some significant investments in our building.
Yeah.
And creating a kind of an updated place where ministry can happen. We brought Andrew on. He's a great youth pastor. He's doing a great job. Lots of big events. They got a big thing coming up this summer. They're going to Indiana Wesleyan for a big conference. I don't know when their other next big event is. Is it on the Church Center app?
I think they're doing
Church Center.
about trampoline park. Isn't that the?
Yeah, so they've got Get Air on May 15th.
All right. Very cool.
So you need to register for that. So make sure you do that on Church Center if you want to send your kid.
Yeah. And since we keep referencing that, Steve, maybe a quick commercial for how to get the Church Center app.
Yes, it is very easy. If you're, if you're watching, all right, on your phone, you can go to any of the app stores, download Church Center app, and then from there, it's going to try to either identify you as someone who's already going to the gathering, or you put your information in and you get connected by putting like your zip code in there, and it'll find
45458.
Yep,
that's our zip code.
Yep, and then you can click on the gathering, and then once you do that, it'll connect you right to us, and you can see all the different upcoming events. You can find all the open groups. You can find out information about kids and students. Watch services from there. You can do a lot of things. Giving's on there. There's just a ton of different things that you can do on the Church Center app.
Yeah, cool. And students meet Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock.
Yep.
They have a really cool time.
When we say students, 6th through 12th grade.
6th through 12th grade. And a great time of just kind of hanging out, having fun. They have some teaching time. And then they break down into small groups where they have the chance to kind of interact with the material a little bit more. So we keep moving backwards into Area 54. Which is, specifically for our 4th and 5th graders.
Yep.
And that meets at 11 o'clock on Sundays as well. But then we have this other thing that we do, right, for 4th through 6th graders called Summit.
Yep.
And that's designed to help kids not just navigate that transition from elementary into middle school, but also it's a place where they really start to own their own faith. And the whole thing is designed to help them understand, what does it mean to follow Jesus? And then really call on a commitment from them to say, hey, are you guys ready to do this?
Yeah.
And so we launched that this year, and it's gone really well. There's kind of a cool thing for the kids who are faithful through the whole year.
Yeah.
They get to go to Kings Island at the end of the year.
Which is coming up soon. I think early June.
Yeah, which is a great time. So we'll be going again next year. So 4th through 6th grade. Then we get into our kids ministry.
Yep.
Also meets Sunday mornings. Birth through 3rd grade at 9:30.
Yeah.
And then birth through 5th grade, because you have Area 54 at 11. But our kids ministry is awesome, right?
Yeah.
A lot of fun. We've got a lot of teachers who love the kids, all that kind of stuff. But let's talk just for a second about the very beginning of the path, which is child dedication.
Yeah, child dedication, because we got something coming up soon.
That's also on
Church Center app.
Church Center app. You can register for that.
Right here. See? It's that easy.
Wow.
That easy.
I like having John as like a walking, talking commercial for us. Yeah. No, so, if you've never done child dedication with your kids, this is a great time to do it. We're going to have it on Mother's Day. You can sign up to do that. And really, basically what it is it's a chance to, get in front of our whole church and just say, hey, I want my children to know Jesus, to love Jesus, and follow Jesus for their whole life. And then you're basically asking the church to partner with you in that process. And so our church people, they agree to do that. They agree to say, hey, we're gonna commit to resource you. We're gonna commit to pray for you and try to help make that happen. That happens on Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. So good opportunity.
So soon, yeah, all right. It's coming up soon.
All right, there we go.
All right. Then last question here is, when is our next deep dive, and what is it about?
Yes, and you know what? It's actually about what we've been talking about.
It is.
So one of our goals for kids is that when they leave the church, they don't leave their faith.
Yeah.
And one of the things culturally that's happening right now in the church is a lot of kids are leaving the church and leaving their faith.
Yeah.
And we've given it this term deconstruction.
Yep.
Right? Which, and we'll talk about this at the deep dive. We're going to talk about what it is to deconstruct and what that means. But essentially, it means they question everything.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily wrong, right?
No, that's a good thing to ask questions.
Right. But the goal is to come out on the other side and say, now I'm ready to own my own faith, instead of saying I'm letting go of my faith.
Yeah.
And so we're going to talk all about that at the deep dive and what that means to deconstruct. How do you deal with it? How do you work with someone who's in the process? Mm-hmm. And we'll talk a little bit about how some of it is based on some faulty assumptions and that kind of thing. But that is on May 8th. Is that correct?
Nope. Hey, but guess what? On Church Center, I found out it's on May 7th.
May 7th. 6
8 p.m. And there is childcare.
Up to 3 years old.
Is it up to 3 for this one?
Oh, is it more?
This one, childcare for a deep dive.
I think the worship thing was
up to fifth grade. Up to fifth grade. But you need to register for that through Church Center on the events page.
So if you have kids up to 5th grade, you can register them for childcare through the Church Center app.
Yep.
I kind of feel like this whole podcast is brought to you
by Church Center app.
Church Center app.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the deep dive, May 7th. What time is it at?
6 to 8.
6 to 8, May 7th. We're going to talk about deconstruction, why people leave the faith. You know, is there anything we can do about that?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to this.
I am too. I think I don't know if it's like a hot topic right now, but I feel like it kind of
I'm hot about it.
Yeah. Well, rightfully so there. I think it's something good to talk about. Some people may not even know what deconstructing your faith even is.
Yeah.
So
I think we all know somebody in our life who were like, man, I thought they were a Christian like I was, and then all of a sudden you find out like, oh, they don't believe anymore.
Right. The good mythical morning people are the people that kind of come to mind to me.
Link.
Yep.
I'm actually going to talk about them a little bit.
Yeah. Because it was a pretty big deal when they kind of walked through it. And I'm sure you probably watched the episode where they discussed it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And when you say they kind of take a path where they assume some things that I wouldn't assume when they.
Yeah, I'll just lay this out there.
Right.
I think that whole lengthy, because they actually did, I think, 2 podcasts about it. And I think all that was just a bunch of word salad for we want to be able to do whatever we want. And we'll talk more about that.
Okay. So if you're interested in it, deep dive coming up. You don't have to register, but you do have to register for childcare. You can just show up. We got plenty of room. We'll be doing it in the worship center, so there's tons of room in there, so everyone can join.
Absolutely. All right.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us today, and we will be...
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. So what happened yesterday, Steve?
Oh... There's a lot of things that happened yesterday. Lots of things.
This is very similar to
specific.
This is similar to your conversation with
very
John.
Specific.
In the second service.
You know, I do really bad with very open-ended questions.
It was really fun to watch.
Because I know that an open-ended question generally has one answer. You know, so it's like almost like a guessing game. I'm trying to guess what you're thinking when someone gives me an open-ended question.
Right.
No, we're assuming
we're our
let's assume.
So our team is going out to lunch here in a minute, right? And you still haven't told us where we're going.
Yeah.
Because we're going out to celebrate
leaving
Steve.
it as a surprise.
Well, you have to tell us or we won't be there.
Surprise! Chuck E. Cheese.
Steve's gonna go and not tell us.
Gonna get pizza.
He's like, where are those guys? No, so yesterday we celebrated your 10-year anniversary.
10 years.
Does it feel like it's that long?
It doesn't, no.
Okay, it does to me.
Anniversary of what?
It feels a lot longer.
Steve's 10-year anniversary of working here, specifically, not just his anniversary.
Well,
right. Somebody came up to me and asked me, So were you actually here before Steve was? And I was like, yeah, I was.
Actually here.
I was. So, yeah. So anyway, and the whole reason I'm bringing this up on the podcast, and Matt, can we put a link in the show notes?
Yes, we can.
Is that what we call them? Show notes?
Yeah.
All right. That being cool there. All right. We want to put a link there that you can contribute to Steve's love offering, which is
how much do you love me?
Yeah, so show Steve how much you love him.
10 cents worth.
And you don't even need the link. You can go to the church's website and click on the giving link and then find the pull down menu and choose the thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm mentioning this here is because there are people who watch this podcast who don't go to our church.
Okay.
But they
are they all in Michigan?
No, I don't think so.
Following you, David.
But if they watch it because they really like watching you. I mean, there are people out there who think you're a celebrity.
What?
I think you're a pretty big deal.
Yeah. So if you're watching this and you love the work Steve does on the podcast, make a little donation.
Or the lack of work that Steve does on the podcast.
Yeah. You can also give through Church Center.
Okay.
Oh,
Church Center.
Or you can give through Church Center.
Click the giving tab
you
right there.
You need to, at the end of this, have a little
what
commercial
you do is
for Church Center.
Let it load.
Yeah.
And then this is not great. It's not loaded. Oh, there you go. Then you type in $1 million.
Hit send.
Only let me do
Hit send.
10,000.
Hit send.
Then you hit next, and you pick the fund. Say thank you, Steve.
Okay. You're walking straight through it.
I'm not going to give it $10,000.
$10,000.
Yeah. So if you want to, you should.
But would you say in the last 10 years?
Let's try to bump Steve into the next tax bracket.
No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Would you say that the last 10 years, the church, the way we do church was changed more than the previous 10 years you were in ministry?
At the gathering or just in general?
You've only been there, you haven't been in the gathering more than 10 years.
Church world changed.
Yeah. I just feel like my 10 years of prior ministry experience before my 10 years here, that things have changed. We used to be able to come up with a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan for the church. And now it's like, you kind of got to let those things go for the most part. Unless you're doing a building plan or you want to launch ministries or things like that. Otherwise it's super hard to predict. We've just gone through so many cycles here, but we've grown rapidly too.
So I do think, the boomer-driven model of ministry is really kind of going away.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. It's very corporate, very,
program-led.
Yeah. So I think in that sense, for sure, I think, postmodernism has had a significant impact on the way people do ministry. And that's not all bad. I mean, I'm not going to say that everything about postmodernism is bad, but we have moved away from the modern boomer mindset, I think. And not all churches have, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay. But I think probably, the way that we do ministry is different. I think in some ways a lot of it's the same.
Well, not necessarily the way we do ministry, but the amount of things that have changed the way that we do
ministry is impacted.
Yeah.
I think probably, I think, COVID changed a lot of things.
It did. Yeah, that.
Maybe it shouldn't have, but it did.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I agree. Are you going to close out?
Now we can be done. So I'm going to pass it over to Steve to close us out.
Thank you for joining us today, and we will
make sure you donate to Steve's. I'm sorry.
We will be back here
please.
Next week, but don't forget to get on Church Center app, sponsored by Church Center app.
All right.